Hello everybody, I'm SJM. As I continue my journey into the Between Lands, I've upgraded to the next step of armor, as you can see here. This will be a quick just update video for my journey through blood magic here. So the big one is this living armor that I've acquired for myself. This just takes a bunch of the binding reagents. And as well, I've got my tier 4 blood altar up, and we will explore a little bit of the road to getting the master blood orb. I think that's the next tier. As I mentioned in the previous episode, there's like 2 possibilities for getting the apprentice blood orb or the magician blood orb, and I'm going to have to renege on the first suggestion that I had, was that you stand here and without any of the capacity runes, you put down your block of octine there and then add blood to it as you can, or as it's going. The one hiccup to that is that craft seems to go really quickly, and it's really hard to keep up, and there is also a cooldown on your incense altar. I think it takes 20 seconds between each time that you can use it to get the effect from it. So that does not work, and I tried valiantly, but ultimately I gave up after just the first attempt at it, because I could see I was only putting in like a couple of hundred of LP instead of like 5,000 every time I would, drop down over to close to my incense altar and then jump back up there, heal up a bit, and it was always running out and going, like, getting the black particles, which means the craft is failing and you're losing blood. So I gave up, just decided to make all those 8 capacity runes that we needed to get this up to the 26,000 there. So the next tier of blood orb is the master, and it takes 40,000, and we need one of these weak blood shards. So as I mentioned in the last episode, I didn't fully go into it, but once you get your binding reagent, then you're going to need to get the bound blade is the one that you definitely want to get. I don't know about the other ones for now, but maybe I'll test them out, but I haven't even gone and gotten my sentient tools yet, so I don't know what we're going for there. But once you've got your bound blade, and it's a pretty decent weapon actually, it's got 8 damage off the hop, and it's unbreakable, so you don't have to worry about the durability on it. And that's a much better weapon than the sentient sword, because this is just only 7 damage currently with my tartaric gem at the 600-ish range of will in it. But yeah, I'd rather keep collecting the will and going up the things, because I think eventually we can make the sentient sword better than that 8 damage bound blade. But once you have the bound blade, you get like a 10%-ish, it felt like. I don't want to say that that's the number exactly, but you get you get a chance to drop these blood shards from the enemies as you're going. So you're going to need one of those to make the bloodstone tiles, so that you can make the caps for your tier 4 altars. And then you're also going to need one of those bloodstone shards for the... Oh, it's in this one. Master blood orb. And then there's also we'll need to get the next tier of tartaric gem as well. but we'll also have to get the Demon Will Crystal. I'm not going to go over that in this episode here, but that'll probably be the next one as I get deeper in, because I've been doing quite a bit of grinding, both adventuring and in building. I've been really hollowing this place out and getting my final build finalized. As you can see, I've got the visualization up here for the tier 5. It's going to require 52 more runes, so 13 on each side here, plus this this mystery block in the corners, which it's in the quest line here, so it's going to be a void metal block. I think this is going to require Thaumcraft to get into it, so I won't be rushing too far into that, but I want to get fully prepared for the Sludgeon when we get there. So currently I did get these stone paths done after I got my Magician's Orb, and now this incense altar gives me a 120% bonus. I still haven't gotten any more of the self-sacrifice runes on here, but I think it'd probably do well to get a few more of those just to help out with getting blood into the altar for when we need it. I don't see any really big crafts immediately, but I have also been putting LP into the system because actually I had 65,000 LP in there. The bound tools use LP from your system, so if you don't remember, but you just put your blood orb on there, and when you get those particles, that means it's going into your network, right? So we're at 27,456 there now. I did re-verify the math on the interaction with the self-sacrifice runes and the altar, and they are multiplicative. So if you've got 120% there and you've got 100% over there, then you're going to get 240% in total. I guess, yeah, so the living armor, the recipe for it is an alchemy recipe. It'll just need more binding reagent, the same one you use to make your bound tool, and then you'll use up the ashen gear that you have, that I had, and that gives us the living version. It does fill up our armor bar all the way, so it's a step up from the ashen, just plain in the armor, but you also get a huge step up in that the armor upgrades. So on the chest plate here, I've gotten so far Fierce Strike, Healthy, Dwarven Might, Tough Skin, Solar Powered, Quick Feet, Soft Fall, and Strong Legs. I messed this up because I didn't know what I was doing when I originally got the living gear. So I got the living gear, and then I went straight into digging out and doing base work here, which is not exactly what I wanted. I think what I want out of this gear would be maximum protection stuff, not just like some extra quality of life things. And you can find out what all of this stuff does it's a Google Doc, which I'm doing all of my referencing from. I'll throw a link in the description of the video. But it's really helpful with all of the blood magic stuff. You just have to bear in mind that all the recipes that you see in there are based on vanilla, so a lot of that doesn't pertain to this pack in particular, but a lot of the general information in there is the same. And I'm pretty sure that Serious Creepers modified some of the values of the things. Like I think my Sentient Sword should be doing more damage at my current will level, but maybe just to balance it out, he's tiered it down a little bit. Not a lot, but just like instead of doing 8 damage at 400 will, it's only doing 7. So that's that's the only thing that I've noticed there. But these upgrades, I can explain a little quickly what they do. So the Fear Strike is attack damage increase, and you build up your points by doing the activity associated with it. So obviously the Fear Strike being an attack damage one, when you're attacking things, the more you're attacking things, the more points you get put into it. And if you hold Shift M, as in the description there, it'll tell you I've built up 49 out of 100 to get to the next tier. But I've already used up all of my upgrade points. I'm at 99 out of 100. So originally I was doing all of my digging, so I ended up with the Dwarven Might and the Quick Feet because I was sprinting around, and the Soft Fall because I was jumping down from, like, I was digging my way up the wall and then jumping down, and that's the soft. We'll go over what these do, I guess. So the Dwarven Might increases your digging speed as long as you continue to dig the same block. So it was kind of helpful, but not something that I really need from my armor necessarily. Like, I don't really care about mining that much to need something like that. The Quick Feet, the extra movement speed is kind of handy. I'm not disappointed with that one. And the Soft Fall, I'm not disappointed with in either. I just don't need it up to like level 5. Like a level 2, maybe a level 3 would be okay in Soft Fall. Just that increases like the amount of distance you can fall without taking fall damage. And then the Strong Legs I don't need at all either, and that's from jumping, right? Because I was jumping up all the time, and it's a jumping based buff. The ones I'm really interested in are the Healthy, which gives you extra hearts. See how I'm up to, I got 3 extra hearts actually now, just down a little bit. Sorry, 4 extra hearts I'm at now, which is super helpful. We can get more blood into our altar when we're using our sacrifice gem, and just you have more hearts. Those are excellent buffs. The other excellent one is the Tough Skin. This is just like extra protection. This is we don't have enchants in this pack, so Tough Skin's super important. That's a really good one I would want on my gear. The Solar Powered is a nice little quality of life one. There's some damage reduction in there, and then if you get it up to a high enough, I think starting at level 3, you can get a fire resistance proc that'll protect you for a couple of seconds, and the higher level, then the higher length of time that fire resistance will work for. And the last one, which would take a lot of grinding to get to that I wanted, there's a Mending type enchantment, and I forget exactly what it's called, so let me just go and find it again. Oh, that was kind of obvious. It's called Repairing. The way to get it is super hard to get, though. Your chest plate has to take 500 durability damage. So that's like a long-term investment type of thing to do. But that will restores 1 durability on a random piece of equipped living armor every 200 ticks. And just to note that with the living set there, it's only active when you're wearing all the pieces of the set, similar to the Ashen, where you don't get the effects of the gem unless you're wearing all of the pieces. Same thing with the living. You don't get any of these bonuses if you don't have all 4 pieces on there. But at least in the Between Lands here, we've got the animator, so we can repair our gear, and once we get close enough, then we'll be able to have the possibility of having that upgrade eventually in the long term, right? Now there are methods to remove all of these enchantments, and it's done through a ritual, which is a little bit down the road. I think we've got to get into Thaumcraft to get the rituals as well, because there's an unknown item in the recipe. So that's further down the road, but we can also increase the number of upgrade points we have as well through a couple of different ways. So I'll be investigating exactly how those work. There's one to get us up to 200, and then there's another one that'll jump us straight to 300. And there's another way to get more upgrade points, and that's by adding downgrades to your equipment. But then again, that requires rituals as well. So, and that's not in our grasp just yet. But what we can do is talk about my thought for getting that Master Blood Orb. So this can hold up to 26,000 blood at a time. So that means we would need another 7 more runes of capacity to get this up to 40. Right? Because we'll need 14k more, and each of these give 2. So it's not super horrible by any stretch, but that's a lot more capacity runes to make. Whereas there is a tank that holds blood. It's not in there, it's in there. Goes up to tier 12 with 32 million buckets. Or sorry, 32,000 buckets. Don't quite need 32,000 buckets worth of capacity, but this tier 1 blood tank gives us 16 extra buckets. And I'm not sure exactly how much that is, but let's give it a try. So I'll need a couple of filtered silk glass. Need some of that. We'll need some of that. And we need to go there and there and there. I wanted to give this a try on camera and see what kind of derpiness we can get up to. I've got my... Can't believe I didn't grab my dagger. Did I put it away? What did I do with my dagger? Alright, so we got about 12,000 in there now. And it doesn't seem to be taking any out. No. Shift place it. No, but we noticed that there's something on the top there, so I'm thinking maybe it goes in the bottom. I don't see anything there either. And no, nothing's coming out. All right, let me do a quick little bit of research, because I didn't look at this prior to starting the episode. I had it all in my head that it would work exactly the way I thought it was. And how often does that happen? Never. All right, well, this actually works. So you put your bucket on there and it will fill up, which obviously takes 1,000 out. And I screwed up. I did this. Don't let it go over more than one, because we'd kind of be wasting it, right? Yeah, so I've got 2 buckets in there now. So we could fill that up with 16. And then can we 8,000. See, it's coming out. It's not going back in. Now, does this have 3 in it? It does. So a bucket holds more than 1 bucket. That's not very intuitive, but whatever. Yeah, we don't want it placed in the world. Not yet anyways. We'll be using it eventually to upgrade our tranquility, but not just yet. So there isn't a way to get the blood back in there, which quashes my idea. My idea was to have, if we could have 16 buckets, we could just bucket back in there right quickly and eliminate the need for the extra runes of capacity, but that does not appear to be the case. Unfortunate. Alright, so then there's one last thing that I wanted to test live, because I like showing my derpy nature. I usually do this all the time anyways, but I've always heard and just trusted it, and I've never tested it, that when you use these special runes on the tier 1 altar, you can't put them on the corners. You can only put them on the sides. They won't work if you put them on the corners. So today we're going to test it live. Put that there, and then that there. And pop up here. Still a tier 4 and 26,000. So not sure if that was like from 4 or 5 years ago when we were playing, and it's gotten an update since those days. But obviously that isn't the case here. Give me your blood. Go over here, get my buff. Throw some more in there. So as you can see, we're getting quite a bit more. I even forget how much I started with there, but yeah. So the roads that I'm working towards now, it's probably just going to the Sludgeon, I think, at this point. I'll do a little bit more grinding. I want to get up over 1,000 in this Tartaric gem. And also I need to look into how to get the different kinds of wills. So there's the Demon Will Cluster is the one. No. Demon Will Crystal is the one. What are the different kinds of wills that there are? Why isn't it right there? I don't know why it's not right there. Should be obvious, but there's 5 different kinds of wills, right? There's the standard regular kind. Then there's corrosive will, destructive will, vengeful will, steadfast will. And then the regular is just called raw will. So I need to figure out how to get the different kinds of wills, because to get the greater Tartaric, we need Demon Will. And a Demon Will Crystal, and there's no There's no way, there's no recipe for it. So I think it looks like it's ritual based. The Residents of the Faceted Crystal Ritual. So yeah, that will require the ritual stones, which, as I already alluded to, we need these guys, which are made from the solid tar. And the solid tar doesn't have any crafting recipe here. Like the solid stairs come from blocks of solid tar, and then the solid tar makes the solid tar stairs, so you're complete catch-22. But maybe once we have Thaumcraft opened up, we'll find a way to make the solid tar. So that's why I said we're gonna have to hold off to get to that there. I wanted to get a 4th bucket of blood over there, and then at least I got my liquid blood that I can put into my thing over there, because I'll be able to make a nice little ritual. And you can see how just using as many different kinds of blocks in there as we can, and with as little number of repeats, we can maximize the bonus that we get out of there. But once I can make the new kind of pathway, once I get the Master Blood Orb, then we will be able to get a 200% tranquility bonus out of that. So that'll be helpful in itself as well, because we can't get any rituals, so we're not able to use like a painful ritual for, or not a, what's the name of that one? I completely forget. The Well of Souls is the name of the ritual that I'm thinking of. And that would be something that if you could have a spawner somewhere, and you could set up a Well of Souls on top of it, but that's a long ways down the road for that kind of a setup. So for right now, we're just kind of stuck on self-sacrifice, because you can't even breed animals to do regular sacrifices, or you know, maybe if we had something close enough, but then we would have to kill the animals with the sacrificial dagger, or kill the mobs with sacrificial dagger, and that would be a pain in it to itself. So yeah, well, we've entered the rambling section of this SJM video today, so I think that's just about time to wrap it up. Nothing else more to talk about here, except that now that I've got the living armor, we can work towards getting the sentient armor. And this one isn't too hard, but it is based from Thaumcraft as well, because we need this unfamiliar item here. It's just a couple of wildwood bark, a plank, and a Valenite shard to get this wildwood chest plate. But once again, this is some kind of crafting from Thaumcraft, I think. I'm pretty sure. I recognize it, but I'm not too versed in Thaumcraft personally, so that'll be a big exploration for me as well in this pack, which I'm looking forward to, which I think I've gotten deep enough through blood magic now to actually go that way. I'll probably just make a living axe just to get this quest done, and because I don't want to get away from these living tools, because the self-repair on them is just too handy. I like that a little bit too much to give it up just yet. So yeah, now that's it for this episode. I appreciate you all for checking it out, and we will see you in the next one.